Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Rise and Grind with Vince. I'm your host, Vince Tagliavia. Just noticing that I misspelled my title here, but that's okay. Welcome, everybody. This is a show where I just discuss the news and events of the day, current events, and health topics is kind of emphasis on here because that's something I care about. It's actually part of my New Year's resolution. Happy New Year. It's January 1st, 2024. Holy moly, it's here. Man, came quick. Came quick. Hopefully it's a good one and things don't get too crazy out there, but man, day by day it looks more and more wild and risky, but we will just ride it out. So, New Year's resolutions. I want to stay busy. And as I stay busy, I want to stay healthy. And I think that is my main goal for the new year. And I have some things I'm doing with some friends to keep each other accountable, just stay healthy. And that is kind of it's not, super strict or anything, but basically it's do 100 of something challenge. So 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups throughout the day, 24-hour period, or whatever you could do, right? So you guys could join me in that if you want. I know a lot of people flood to the gyms and things this time of year, and some say it, most of the time it doesn't work and all this stuff, but I think it's good to set goals and do things. So I'm doing it. But yeah, stay busy, stay healthy. That's my New Year's resolution. What's yours? If you're in the live chat, let me know what yours are. And bear with me as I get everything figured out here. I need to figure out how to link my chat here, but I have my chats pulled up over here for y'all that are tuning in live this morning. And thank you all very much for tuning in and supporting me. The reason I want to do this is because when I was commuting every day a long time, I would use that time in order to listen to shows like this, in order to figure out what the heck's going on in the world and keep up with the news. When you work a full-time job and you have this and that going, it's hard to sit down and figure out what's going on. And so I would utilize car time to do that. And even in my spare time, I spent a lot of time reading and watching shows to figure out different people's takes on what's going on. So that's what I want to provide. Just a wrap up of what's going on in the world and some interesting conversations along the way. And I've got a website and everything. I'm going to post blogs and little articles. If you want to sign up there and keep up with everything I'm doing, you can. If you didn't see my first video released last night, then you are unaware. I'll say it again. I'm going to be adding more content. So that's going to be kind of just a vlog / blog as well. I'll go with it, of me. All right. If I'm making sourdough bread, I'm going to film the bread. I'm going to talk about bread, and maybe not on this channel per se, but I'll make another channel of kind of like homesteading stuff. This year I'm considering raising rabbits, so I could document that. I could show you how I build the cages and build that out, and maybe do research live or something to see if that's something I want to commit to, what's involved, et cetera, et cetera. So just different little things that I'm going to start doing as documenting and enjoying. So look forward to that and follow me everywhere. I'll let you know when those things start up, and it's kind of up in the air. It's not all set in stone. This is all a very sudden adventure for me. So if you have any suggestions or anything, you could contact me on social media and through my website. I've got my email there. Just go to the description and go. It's riseandgrindwvince.com. It's actually right here too. If you scan that QR code, I think if you take a screenshot as well, this will take you to my website. Follow me everywhere you can, and sign up for an email if you want, if you don't mind getting an email, and that helps me keep in touch with you as well. So thank you all for tuning in. Well, let's get into the news, because that's why we're here. And that's what we're going to do. Even though it's episode 1, we're going to jump right into things because, well, it kind of goes to, before we do, I'll say this: rise and grind. I want to explain my name, and that is, rise because it's in the morning. It's a morning show, even though it's getting towards the afternoon on the East Coast. And I have global listeners. I hope. I mean, let me know where you're at. I hope I do. But so rise because it's morning, and grind. And it's grind has many meanings, and don't get inappropriate out there. But the meaning I wanted to go with grind was grind your coffee beans, right? Grind your coffee beans and grind out your tasks. So at the end of this, we all go on with what we need to do for the rest of our day. And that's the grind, right? After this, I've got to go hang drywall, and it's a holiday. I hope a lot of you have the day off. But like I said, I want to stay busy and I want to get shit done. So I'm going to try to fill my schedule as much as I can. So rise and grind, everybody. That's it. Well, good to see you, RPG. Good morning, all. Good morning to you over there on DLive. Thank you. All right. Not that kind of grind. No. But anyway, let's talk about this. It's a new year. We had a lot of celebrations going on. I hope you all had a good one. And I just wanted to do a little review of what the heck people were doing. How were people celebrating? We had Hawaii celebrating, and I love those videos of all these fireworks going on. Let's take a look here. Roz Alerts over on x.com shared this. Let's check it out. This is Hawaii, the Hawaii skyline. Let's see here. Do I have an issue? No, I don't. Here we go. This is the Hawaii skyline. Just massive. A lot of cars pulled over. Pretty fun. It's cool. But you know what? I hate to be like the Grinch of New Year's. But I'm like thinking to myself, laying in bed last night, and I'm like thinking about what are in fireworks? You know, how bad is this to put into the air? And I hate to go there because you start being environmental and then you get grouped in with the crazy climate nuts. But I was just thinking about it, and apparently I did a little bit of searching around. It's not good, and that's just, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. But they're doing drone shows now. Here's China 2024. They put all these drones in the sky and they make it look like a dragon. Just wild. Drones with lights and interesting music. Isn't that something? Let's see. Oops. There we go. That's cool. So pretty interesting stuff. We also had one out of London where they did the same kind of thing. These drone shows. I've never seen them, but this technology is pretty wild, how they program all these drones to move around in unison. This is just one short clip from the London New Year drone show. Interesting. I hadn't seen this till this morning when I woke up and had my first cup of coffee. Let's see here. Check this out. These are drones. And their terrible music. They made a child blowing bubbles, and it's drones. It's pretty wild. 2024, here we go into the future, technology and all. It's pretty cool, but also I start thinking about all the other things that this technology could be used for, and obviously you think of World War III and all this. Hey Raja, hello and happy New Year. Much love. Just checking different platforms Vinci is on. Those are awesome. Yeah, they are awesome. Thank you so much, Raja. I appreciate you stopping by and taking the time to do so. That means a lot. Thank you so much. RPG. Oh my gosh, RPG. Thank you. A diamond donation. Good luck with your new show. Thank you so much, RPG. First donator ever for me. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything you've got going on this year as well. And let's do it. I'm there. I want to know what y'all are doing. So hit me up and comment and let me know all the things. I appreciate that. All right. Well, New Year headlines. News media outlets cut a record-breaking 2,700 jobs in 2023 with more losses predicted for 2024. Things aren't looking good on that front. News media. Why is that happening? It's because we're watching shows like this and different people are going to different sources for their news and creating their own media companies. And it's a wonderful thing. And it sucks for the people losing their jobs that are just, I guess, innocent people in the matter, I guess you could argue. But that's just how things are evolving. Unfortunately, the media outlets have really shot themselves in the foot with what they're doing. And they can't understand why it's happening. But they do. All right. They pretend they don't. But I think this is all on purpose. And here is the first thing that was broadcast on corporate media in 2024. Benny Johnson posted and pointed out. I didn't even watch the ball drop in New York. I missed it, and I didn't watch it later because I was like, I don't know why. I just didn't. But this is the first thing that they aired in 2024. I think it's on, CNN. So let's check this out. I don't know if you guys probably didn't see this because probably didn't tune into CNN, but it's the countdown from last night, stroke of midnight. And what could it possibly be? It's not just the countdown. It's not just the celebration. What did they show? Oh, a couple making out. Oh, a gay couple making out. Right. So it's like, oh, it's just a coincidence, right? I mean, why is it? I don't believe in coincidences. Okay. This is on purpose. They had a camera there ready. They probably had a few cameras, and they're like, how can we somehow push this narrative of, that situation? It's just so silly. And it's not anything to get mad at per se, or super offended or have it ruin your day. But it's just an interesting thing to notice what they focus on. And they could just say, what? We were just there recording and they were there. And yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they're even planned it further than that, or if they just were like, oh, cool, this happened, we're going to film it. I wonder, was there more planning to it? Thank you, Raja D. $5 donation. Hugs. Thank you so much, Raja. Hugs to you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. So I just thought that was an interesting thing that Benny Johnson pointed out. Just, I'll put it on the back burner. It's a note. I think that it's social manipulation. I think they put the things out there for a reason that they want you to see, but people are catching on. They're not even tuning in. All right. This was a kind of interesting article here by Tyler Durden on Zero Hedge. These are the most popular Wikipedia articles in 2023. And it's kind of nice to know what the heck went on in 2023. Look at some data. I'm sure we'll have more data here coming out. But we've got here the most popular Wikipedia articles in 2023. Wikipedia English language articles with the most visits in 2023. Number 1 is ChatGPT. Number 2, deaths in 2023. Wow. Number 1 here, ChatGPT, is just the AI. It's an AI interactive thing for people. So you just go in there and chat with an AI. And it's a little larger than Twitter's AI called Grok, which is an interesting one. And it's cool. So ChatGPT kind of uses older data, but Grok goes through Twitter posts and real-time information in order to address any questions you have. And it's an interesting one, but I don't know. We're watching AI start to take off, and it's quite the spectacle, I will say. We also have deaths in 2023, number 2. I mean, we could all probably know why that is. It's because of the terrible, terrible situation of health in our country and in the world right now, considering everything over the last few years. Absolutely horrible. I can't believe it. That's number 2, the most popular Wikipedia articles. That is terrible, but also great at the same time that people are aware. Wow. I'm surprised to see that, I'll be honest. So it just goes to show how concerned people are, how awake they are. Thank you, Forest Friend, for the ice cream. And I appreciate that. All right. Number 3, Cricket World Cup 2023. Wow. Number 4, Indian Premier League. Cricket. Number 5, Oppenheimer the movie. Interesting. And it goes on and on and on. Number 12 was Taylor Swift. Number 15, Lionel Messi. It's interesting that sports are so popular in the world still. I guess there's a place for it. I'm not a big sports guy, I tell you. That's all. I'm not into it. And talk about coincidences. This is just wild. We had a big 7.6 magnitude earthquake shake Japan last night. And then they issued a tsunami warning. And gosh, was that frightening. Yeah, they got a 7.2 and 7.6 and many other earthquakes as well. I think the second earthquake was like a 5 point something, but they've been hit with a total of 21 earthquakes above 4 magnitude. At least 21 earthquakes above a 4.0 magnitude since this first initial quake. And it was right off the coast of Western Japan. So luckily it didn't send a tsunami wave over to the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast. So that would have made me have to scramble for higher ground last night. It just so happened to be tucked in. And let me show you if I could pull this image up. It happened to be tucked in kind of here. Check this out. So it was tucked in and blocked by the island. Let me share this with you. This shows the epicenter right here, just to the left of the island, and it shows in red and yellow the impact zones along the coast. So this basically just kind of confined it to this kind of area here, and it was blocked by all this land. It was a 7.4 magnitude earthquake is what they initially were reporting. And they issued a tsunami warning in red here, and it wasn't a major tsunami. I think the swells or the waves were about 5 meters. If I think that's what I read last night, and but still horrible and scary, and on the stroke of midnight, not literally on the stroke of midnight, but just as the first day of the new year, they get that huge earthquake. I mean, this is how you get conspiracy theorists. I tell you, I don't blame people when they kind of go off the deep end and they're very prone to some wild ideas that aren't necessarily 100% proven, because you connect these dots and you really start getting pulled in some directions that are pretty far out to some people. But anyway, let me wet my whistle here. Hope y'all have your coffee ground up and ready to go. Which, by the way, grinding the coffee, that's the best way to do it. Just so you know. Yeah, so we do have this little clip of a little bit of shaking and whatnot from Japan. Just terrifying. Earthquakes are a scary thing. I tell you, this is why we need to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. This will cause some problems. I mean, you're not gonna probably have a lot of stores open and this kind of thing when something like this is going on. So it's good to be prepared and be able to sustain yourself for a period of time. And this is just like things that we are guaranteed to have around the world. It's actually not likely for, oh my gosh, that thing fell over. Good God. It's unlikely that we as individuals are involved in some huge disaster, but the potential's there, and I'd rather be prepared than not, even though if it's considered unlikely, because there could be other things that happen. I'm talking about global destabilization and World War III, which I hope, and I honestly think there's a chance that things, people are predicting 2024, the dollar is going to collapse. We're going to go into World War III. Maybe it will be nuclear. Just the worst case scenarios, right? And yes, there's a lot of evidence that suggests that is a possibility, and maybe more and more likely every day. I have a feeling, though, and the reason why I'm just continuing on my roll, just like that's not going to happen, is because what if it doesn't happen? I'm going to prepare for everything, but I'm just saying, what if things just kind of continue on and the shit doesn't hit the fan? So that's what I'm hoping for. I think there's a chance that we get through 2024 unscathed. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be messy. I just hope it's not worst case scenario. I hope it's not, that's all. I guess that's it. That's the whole thought there. That's just my opinion. Otherwise, if I can't just live in a world where it's like the world's going to end anyway, right? Even if it was, I'm just going to keep doing my thing until it does, if it does, which it probably won't. Let's talk a little bit about health, and then we'll get into politics and finance and all this kind of news, and also talk a little bit about all the protests going on in different countries and in our country. But first of all, this article is talking about New Year's resolutions, why New Year's resolutions are bound to fail. New York Post. And they're talking about rushing to the gym. Yeah, they wrote that your New Year's resolution is doomed to fail while rushing to the gym right now won't work. And this is kind of an opinion piece, but I think there is some truth statistically to this. They said that anyone planning on making a beeline for the Auld Lang Syne sign-up sheet at your local gym this week, don't bother, experts say. Auld Lang Syne. I just learned about this last night. I did not know that was traditionally a song that was sung for the new year. That was never part of my tradition, but it was really interesting. I've heard the song before, but basically it means something like the new year, something about New Year's. I forget. But anyway, interesting. So a 2020 study of 1,700 people found that the New Year, New Me crowd, the group that rushes back to the gym as an annual resolution in the wake of so much holiday excess, are far less likely to stick with a regular fitness regime compared to those who join in spring or fall. Does that mean don't join the gym? I wouldn't say so. I mean, there's outliers out there, all right? If you want to join the gym and you want to stick to it, be that outlier and knock yourself out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you stop going, join back in. Get back in there in the spring or whatever, right? Just get back in there and try to stay motivated and keep going. Just get a little movement. Move your ass, as I like to say. That's what we say around here. Move it. Let's go. Anyway, I just thought that's an interesting statistic. And just so y'all know, for anybody who has babies out there or people that have babies, there was a giant recall of 675,000 cans of baby formula because of a bacterial infection risk, the New York Post published this morning. And it says here, Rickett Mead Johnson has voluntarily recalled over 675,000 cans of Nutramigen hypoallergenic powdered infant formula products over the risk that it could potentially cause a bacterial infection. Wow. The specialty formula, which is typically given to infants allergic to cow's milk, tested positive for the pathogen Chronobacter sakazaki by the Israeli Ministry of Health, according to a press release issued by U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Sunday. So is this only affecting Israel? The Israeli Ministry of Health? I'm confused. What is going on here? They wrote here, the Chronobacter bacteria, although found naturally in the environment, can cause life-threatening symptoms in infants less than 1 year old, including fever, low energy, and seizures, according to the CDC. And then they have an affected batch numbers. You could Google search and find those. Wild. We have to be careful, man. This is scary. There's nothing worse than getting food poisoning or sick from the things we eat. I tell you, and it's quite frightening. But just so you know, things like this are happening. I find it a little strange too that some Israeli health people found it. It makes me think, man. Resistance training is just as good as weightlifting, and rubber bands are easily stored, RPG says. Yeah, I love the rubber bands. I have some of those, and you could get ones that are really light. You could get ones that are stronger. That's a good one. Resistance training's huge. Screw the gym. I could do it myself. Yeah, RPG. Absolutely, you can. And most of my workouts are, I have very minimal weights. I don't have a weight set up. I have a couple little things, but nothing crazy. Just some basics to get you by. And just remember, walking's like the best thing you could do too, or one of the best things you could do aside or in tandem with weight training. Just a simple walk does wonders for men and women. And just I say that because we're a little bit different in what happens when we go for a walk and just how our bodies function in general, what chemicals are created and whatnot, like a little different. But it gets your whole system moving. It gets your blood pumping. It gets everything going. It keeps you moving forward, literally too. Man, no gym, manual labor. What is this? Please hit the like button and follow Vince. Thank you so much. Yes, please follow if you're just tuning in. And just so you all know, I'm streaming. Where am I streaming? If you want to follow me on YouTube, I'm on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, how you doing? YouTube, Facebook, x.com, DLive, and Rumble. Those are all the places I am. And you can find it all on my website, just so you know. And I think somebody test this for me, and I could test it. I could test it later. But I think if you screenshot your phone, it'll take you to my website when I have that QR code up. I think, or you could click it, I believe, as well. Just kind of a cool little thing. So thank you, Army Rangers. I'm too lazy to grind my coffee. No war on our soil, but people will die from violence. No gym, manual labor, but yet the illegal immigrants get safe baby formula. So that's just a lot of responses to what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. Too lazy to grind the coffee. It doesn't take too much time. I could show you an efficient way to do it. Maybe that's something I could put out there. I think you're right about the violence. We already see it every single day in our country. It's just absurd. Manual labors are great. And that's I'm not counting it towards my 100 a day challenge, but I am still doing it. So I'm doing drywall right now, and I need to drywall my darn studio. I'm going to get rid of this here soon because I don't have my walls up. I have some insulation in, but since I'm doing drywall and I have the drywall, I'm like, I need to get my studio in order. Anyway, lifting that drywall and doing that for a few hours a day, it'll get your blood pumping, you know. But yeah, manual labor is great. And especially in today's day and age, it's kind of a forgotten thing. People are wanting to, I don't know, what kind of jobs I mean, a lot of people aren't doing manual labor. They're not learning skills and trades. It's not good. I work with a guy who roasts his own coffee. Wow. I hate coffee. Don't judge me. Oh my gosh. How dare you? No, coffee's pretty gross. It's kind of like alcohol. It's an acquired taste. I'll admit that. So that's okay. Black Jester, thank you. And FBI Mom, thank you so much for the Ninjet. Wow. Thank you so much. And thank you, Black Jester, for the 2 ice creams. Thank you, FBI. I never thought I'd say that. FBI. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, the illegal immigrants did get the baby formula. I forgot about that. Didn't they have a bunch stored in? I forget that story. I think that was from last year. Wow. Anyway, this was an interesting story too about losing weight and Neuralink. Neuralink is Elon Musk's company that attaches to the brain and interfaces with technology. He wants to use it in the health sector in order to help people who don't have limbs and things like this in order to improve their lives, which is a wonderful pursuit. But like all technology, I think it could be used for good and evil. But this website dnyuz.com published an article that says Elon Musk wants you to use Neuralink to lose weight. That's a bad idea. It's an opinion piece. They say that you don't need to drill a hole in your head and implant a microchip in order to lose weight. There are much safer ways of slimming down, including a new class of very promising drugs. Oh my God. You're kidding me. What drugs are they peddling? Are they peddling the drugs that everyone's realizing are making them sick? All these scary weight things. GLP-1. Let's see. That's what they're talking about. GLP-1. Let's see what this thing's about. Oh, just You want to put a chip in your brain? Take the pills. What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Yeah, right. No, thank you. GLP-1 agonists are medications that help lower blood sugar levels and promote weight loss. There are many different types, and they're just one part of their treatment plan. If you have type 2 diabetes or obesity, these things, I would not take this if I had type 2 diabetes or was obese. It says these are the kinds, I think it's kind of like Ozempic, if I'm not mistaken, to where it actually totally screws up. And this is just me speaking as a layman on this. I've done a little bit of research, but it actually will keep your insulin levels very high, and it'll wreak havoc on your internal organs and things. You don't want that situation in your body. You want to, in my opinion, have a more holistic approach, healthy eating, less sugar ingested, more movement. All these things are great. And your body can naturally lose weight. I think maybe there's outliers there where they're like, no, I have, this disease or this situation, I can't lose weight. Well, those are different, but a normal functioning body can certainly lose weight under the right conditions and in a safe manner, or a safer manner than some of these things, in my opinion. Wow. GLP-1 is a hormone that your small intestine makes. It has several roles. So basically, they're having you take a hormone that your body creates by itself. And what it does is it triggers insulin release from your pancreas, blocks glucagon secretion. And glucagon is a hormone in your body that's used to raise your blood sugar levels when necessary. So it blocks that from happening. It slows your stomach emptying. It makes you digest slower, so you're releasing less sugar into your system. It increases how full you feel after eating, so you feel satiated, you're eating less. GLP-1 affects areas of your brain that process hunger and satiety. Blocking glucagon secretion sounds like a bad idea to me, because when your body needs to raise its blood sugar, it blocks it. So it's messing up with your natural systems. I don't like it. It prevents more glucose from going into your bloodstream. I don't know exactly the physiology there. I would be curious to find out more. Anyway, not into it. And I can't believe it. I can't believe that they're like, don't put a brain chip in, take these drugs. That's just crazy, these articles. Thank you for following and subscribing. Vince has crabs. I do. Dungeness crabs. Tie a stake around your waist and run through a dog park. That's one way. No drugs, no nets or probes. Thank you, Raja. Yeah, it's just crazy that these are the articles out there. I mean, they're probably getting a payday from their drug companies for writing the article, right? And putting their little links in and whatnot. Anyway, onward. Let's talk about teachers' unions. I was talking a little bit about unions over the weekend. I don't know a lot about unions. I've never been a part of a union. I'm sure many of you probably have, or have a loved one or a friend who has. I think it's a damn scam. And Restore Childhood on Twitter, aka X, posted this. They said, this is the story that teachers' unions want you to forget. And they posted this video. Watch and share our new trailer for our forthcoming documentary project. This is the real story of school closures told by students, parents, doctors, and everyone who fought back, which I think a lot of people either did fight back or now wish they had.
Bam! The pandemic suddenly came out, and then school ended.
Within that 2-week window, everything went from normal and open to completely shut down.
We didn't have anything for a while.
The constant thought of like your grades sucking.
You feel boxed in.
15 days of returning closing school had become 25 months.
My initial reaction was, okay, we're gonna fire the school board.
The National Teachers Union were driving these policies.
My job is to clear the obstacles.
Didn't want to lose sight of our hopes and dreams.
Union president said parents just need babysitters.
I put in a 4-year request.
They are now mine. You could see it from our windows. People were rioting, but it was totally fine. You had the right politics.
Did some calculations, bringing death threats.
Evidence to bring a First Amendment lawsuit.
It's called 15 Days, restorechildhood.com. They're taking donations and everything. If you're interested in supporting things like this, I'm not affiliated with them, but you know, it's up to you. Very interesting. I like these documentaries and things. There's always something to learn from everything, I believe, even if, you know, even the things you don't expect. But this seems like a great project here, and I can't wait to watch it. When is this releasing? Let's go check out, what did they say? RestoreChildhood.com. Let's see when this comes out. RestoreChildhood.com. And a lot of people I talk to, a lot of my friends and whatnot, homeschool. You know, my friends with children homeschool nowadays, and a lot of people are going towards that. And the school system, the teacher unions, they hate that because they lose money every time they lose a student. Interestingly enough, I'm not going to go there. I was going to go into taxes and whatnot, but taxes and all that, and the whole scam and everything. Anyway, let's see if they tell us a date here. They don't. When is your, let's see, projects, events. Bear with me here. I don't have this up. They don't say, those sons of guns. Well, we'll have to just follow it. I will follow them and turn on my notifications. Support 15 Days, the story of how teacher unions orchestrated America's school closures and the kids who were collateral damage. Wow. Oh, is it out? No, this is the 1-minute trailer. Let's see. How are you not going to put your release date? That's what I want to know. Maybe they're still doing something. I don't know. Anyway, let's move forward here. We got a lot more to talk about, and we're going to go into a solar storm. There's a solar storm approaching Earth soon. It's set to hit today. I don't know if it's hitting us yet or where it was even targeting. Well, I guess it's not really targeting, or where it was going to hit. But we saw this happen a few weeks ago, and actually radio signals were disrupted in the southern hemisphere all the way up into the States. So we experienced a little bit of crickling and crackling on some radio stations a couple weeks ago because of the last solar storm, or one of the last solar storms. This seems to be, you know, a bi-weekly or a weekly occurrence, a couple times a week, not bi-weekly, but a couple times a week occurrence, where we're getting these huge solar storms and we have an increase in solar activity. It's interesting to watch. I'm just curious to see if we see any effects of these things as they come in, and we have once. So the solar storm was launched toward Earth on December 25th and is expected maybe to be tapering off now, but it's an interesting thing to take note of. I've never seen auroras. That's on my bucket list. I want to see a damn aurora. Every time it's like you could see them, we've got clouds because I'm in commie Washington State. But one day. All right, we're gonna move on and get out of the health topic here. We're gonna talk about finance. Data shows the U.S. dollar is losing its dominance, and this could be demonstrated by the price of gold and silver. I'm just gonna go to Yahoo to look at their notes. I mean their figures here for gold. Look at the gold chart real quick. $2,071.80 is the price of gold right now. Silver is at $24.02, but gold, I mean, it got up there. And when we see these big increases, gold went up to about 2,100 at the end of December, and now it's gone back down to 2,071. But when you see these big jumps in gold, it's indicative that the dollar is not doing as great. So, you know, as much as I want to see gold skyrocket, that means that all the cash that we have is plummeting. So, I mean, the best case scenario is that things just kind of don't do anything crazy, right? That's really the best case scenario, but thank you, RPG. You guys are so kind. You're making me blush. Thank you. So it's interesting. The U.S. dollar is losing its dominance, and I mean this has to go. This is because of other countries stopping their trading in dollars. RT.com wrote a little article on this. I'll share that. The greenback's share of global reserves plummeted below 60% in the third quarter of 2023, according to data. Wow. The U.S. dollar's share of global central bank reserves has continued to decrease, nosediving to 59.2% in the third quarter of 2023, according to the latest data released by the International Monetary Fund. The decline comes amid the de-dollarization trend gaining momentum across the globe. Yeah. Maybe after this election, if they hold an election, then the dollar can recover, or maybe things are going to change. Who knows? But it's teetering, it's wavering. It's not a good situation for the dollar. We've got December jobs report headlines, the first week of 2024 trading. The markets are closed today because it's a holiday and many things are closed. So remember that. I mean, don't waste your time going to a place that's closed. We've all done that on a holiday. That's always fun. I mean, hang out at home and relax if you got the day off, or go out and do something fun. But things are closed, unfortunately, just so you know. But if you're like me, you'll be doing something fun. Let me know what you're up to. I like to hear all about it. All right. Guess where people are fleeing in the United States? Well, guess what city people are fleeing from more than any other city? It used to be New York. Now we've got this headline from Newsweek that it's now Los Angeles. Los Angeles is no longer a destination. They write, instead, people are fleeing the metro in droves, according to a new Redfin report. Throughout November, Redfin is like a real estate website. I think they list houses and things like that. Throughout November, nearly 24% of American homebuyers were looking to move away to a new metro area. 24% were looking, the real estate brokerage found. However, Los Angeles was not the top of the list. Instead becoming the area residents were most likely to move away from. That marks the first time on record it has been the number one place home buyers are leaving, and the first time in over 2 years the Bay Area has dropped off the number one spot. People don't want to live in the city. I think that's part of it. And I think part of it is just maybe cost of living and all this kind of thing. Man. Yeah, they have large populations and expensive housing. When you're looking at New York and LA and these places, people are leaving. Interesting. And you know what? Things work out. You got to do what's right for you and make it work. I mean, what else could we do, right? Wow. So a lot of people are doing it. I did it. I left California. I left one commie state for another, but I'm glad I did. It's okay. It's all good. We've got banks cutting jobs. So in 2023, banks cut more than 60,000 jobs. It's the worst banking industry year since 2008. Since the last crash, the worst year since 2008. And it's going to continue. Very unfortunate. Meanwhile, Biden's out there. I created the most jobs. I'm such a fantastic job creator. Oh my gosh, FBI mom. RPG, I don't live in the city full of lunatics. You know, that's true, RPG, but I will say out there in the sticks, you do get some interesting folk. Interesting folks. There's crazy everywhere, but I prefer the sticks rather than the city any day. But they have less teeth out here, that's for sure. That's okay. There's some wild people everywhere, and then they leak out, right? And I mean, what happens, you know, we see bad things happening in our cities. We see drugs running rampant and crime and everything. This stuff doesn't just affect the big cities. It does permeate into the rest of every city and every part of our country. And that's the messed up part. And that's why I don't like this situation of, you know, Texas sending immigrants to other states. That we need a solution, not just helping with relocating and keeping the problem going. It blows my mind. But yeah, it's a problem. But it's definitely better away from the large populations, I would say. I will not read that out loud. Prediction: electric car owners are going to be experiencing some extreme buyer's remorse in the years ahead. I'm not a huge fan of electric cars. If you know me, you know that. They explode, and you look it up and there's a lot of information. They're like, that's misinformation, Vince. Normal cars explode too. Why aren't you talking about normal cars? And yeah, that's true, but I'm just not into it. And it's probably because of the radical climate agenda. I'm not interested. I'm not buying into it. I think it's a terrible idea. Here's a car on fire and big explosion. Horrible. At least it's not a Tesla, because when it's a Tesla, all the Tesla people come out that just love Tesla. Tesla could do no wrong. And by the way, this thing actually just goes up in flames. And to put these things out, it gets worse. So this is it later. It just gets worse and worse. To put these things out, firefighters really struggle because it's hard to put these fires out, these battery fires. And when it's a Tesla, people get upset. And this is funny. Somebody posted this the other day. It's a Mercedes-Benz dealership with a Mercedes on fire. And I think it was an electric car malfunction situation. And people are saying it's Tesla. And then all the Tesla people are like, it's not Tesla. But yeah, here they are struggling to put this fire out. Horrible. Oh, gosh. Here you go. Mercedes-Benz. Here's the fire, and they're trying to put it out. So it was Mercedes. This is clearly not a Tesla, as they do not offer an SUV of this type. That was the context that was added by readers on X.com, their little fact-checking feature, I suppose I could call it. Anyway, we've got about 10 minutes left here. I'm going to try to do a little bit of a lightning round of headlines to get through this, and then we'll carry on with our days, get into the grind, or continue the grind if you're into it already. So let's do it. Lightning round. We had hundreds of arrests in France and Germany over the New Year. There was anarchy over there, and I don't know if you heard. I just heard this morning. Nearly 400 people were arrested in Berlin. Oh my gosh. They seized Molotov cocktails, and it looks like it was just a riotous situation. We've got a couple of clips real quick we could share. Let's do that. They've got their fireworks. They're in the city. That doesn't look too bad. Is that legal? I don't even know if that's legal there, but they're just partying in the streets. But I'm sure it got rowdy. Yeah, there you go. They're shooting fireworks at each other and whatnot. This is just... I feel like this kind of thing is going to be the norm here in 2024. Is just this constant rioting around the world. And I hope I'm wrong, but that's where we're at. This is the kind of thing that people are doing today, and I think it's fueled by social media. I think social media is manipulated to make people go crazy. FBI son. Oh my gosh. Hey, FBI son. Thanks for joining. Mayhem underway. Cops are clashing with pro-Hamas protesters in New York City. This was published December 31st by Jonathan Cho. Just a little bit of rowdiness in New York. Nothing that we haven't been seeing over the past months. But it's happening, just so you know. We had teens planning to loot and destroy storefronts and in various areas. This is Del Amo Mall. Where is Del Amo Mall? Del Amo Mall. Torrance, California. So police were preparing for that as they saw the buildup. They had their riot gear, and all these hundreds of teens were planning on looting. See, this is why it's social media driving it. It's because it's always these teenagers that are all on the same apps, right? They're all on their Snapchat. They're all on TikTok. They're all on Instagram and Facebook or whatever apps. Tell me, what are the apps kids are using today? I don't know. But I think that it's probably not. They're not doing, they have control over the media. And I think they allow things to happen and they don't allow other things to happen. And that's a conspiracy, I know. But we've seen evidence of this and corruption with media, so I it's easy to put that together and make that assumption for me. Horrible. We have a deadly mass shooting claimed multiple lives in LA, California on New Year's here. Central City East, Los Angeles, California. 5 victims, 2 dead and 3 critically injured. So who knows? It might be gang related, but it is a horrible thing to hear these things. We've got an interesting update here from Jonathan Cho. He's over in Washington State. He runs around the city and records and documents what's going on there. And he said that there's a BLM Garden 2.0. If you guys remember Cal Anderson Park back during the Chaz Chop days where they took over a little section of Seattle and wrote in the streets, Black Lives Matter or whatever and all this stuff, they had a little shitty garden that got washed away in the first rain. And this is a park where there's a lot of homeless. There's a lot of protests. It's like a gay neighborhood in Seattle in the, what do they call it? Whatever, that area of Seattle. And Jonathan Cho wrote that far left activists are pivoting after city crews pulverized the rat-infested BLM garden earlier this week at Cal Anderson Park. They set up new tents nearby and are asking comrades to bring in more food and supplies so the park turns into a homeless haven and base of operations for commie propaganda. The anti-capitalism, anti-Israel, and cop-hating banners are up right now. It all intersects right here. City leaders better be prepared for more showdowns in 2024. Good gosh. So the garden lives on. This is like an ad that they put out. Week of January 1st schedule. Cal Anderson Park. They've got little events going on. I unfortunately will not be making it into the city. Hell no. They're starting their garden back up. Community garden. Look, I'm not anti-community garden. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think they're doing it completely wrong. I wonder though. My gosh, we do need more gardens. Thank you so much, FBI Son, for supporting and subscribing. All righty. Onward. Running out of time, and I've got work to do. You got work to do, so let's see here. This is a crazy story. I'm just going to read you the headline. $550,000 was donated to Seattle to build a playground for kids in the area. Okay. LGBTQ plus residents protested because they wanted a nude beach. And I think that they're getting that nude beach instead of a playground, which, by the way, a playground in Seattle is just going to be a playground for crooks. So, I'm just saying, if you're in Seattle and you're upset because your kids aren't going to have a playground, I would suggest, if you can, to leave the city. Get out of there. The playground, outside of the city, the playground's all around you. It's all this beautiful open land and nature. The nature's playground. Way better than any playground you can set up in a city for $500,000. We've got rallies and protests happening around the world. Thousands rallied in Serbia's capital on Saturday chanting "thieves" and accusing the populist authorities of orchestrating a fraud during I think they had an election. Yeah, a recent general election. And look at this image. My goodness. Let me share this real quick. It's a sight to see. Tons of people. Insider Paper reported. Oh, there it is. And also we had tens of thousands holding an anti-Israeli protest in Istanbul. as well. So lots of protests, man. No, thank you. All right. There's a video of the president of Argentina, Javier Milei. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I apologize. I'll have to figure that one out. But he's making out with his wife, I think, or something. And I was just like, damn, that's inappropriate. But people are like, he's a badass. But whatever. He's doing some interesting things over there in Argentina. We have Biden out there saying, again, prepare for war with Russia. He said it twice last month, and he said it again just a few days ago. He says Congress must blindly follow his orders or things are going to go bad, basically. We had Congress being called out to help Ukraine after Russia strikes them. Putin says, or after Ukraine striked Russia, actually. Yeah, Ukraine struck Russia in a big attack. Russia now came out and said that they're going to intensify attacks on Ukraine. And Biden is out there saying that Congress needs to step up and help Ukraine after Russia has attacked them. It's just this ongoing conflict there. Horrible situation that just needs to end. And just, can we have some damn peace in the world for a little bit or for a long while? We had Denmark's Queen Margaret II resign and announce a surprise abdication live on TV during the New Year address. Denmark. Interesting situation. I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to learn more about that, but definitely something we're going to keep our eye on. We have Iranian warships entering the Red Sea. You've got Kim Jong-un telling North Korea's military to annihilate South Korea and the U.S. if they initiate conflict. He's been going off a lot lately. Nothing new. Rocket Man's always flabbing his jaw, but it's still concerning and something to watch. UK reports a ship has been attacked off Yemen's coast. This has been happening on and on and on. The Red Sea is just not in a good situation, and it's affecting global trade. World War III watch. Ukraine launched a massive missile strike on Russia. I mentioned that. You've got Syrian oil fields under missile attack as well. 8 rockets hit Al Omar, a major oil field in Syria. Look at this. This is just absolutely wild. Look at this imagery here. It's just a light on the horizon, but there's more video. Let me see if I can find it. The oil fields on fire, and it's just a horrible situation. Not good. Anyway, I can't find it, so we're just gonna have to move on, but we'll keep an eye on everything going on there. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in and supported me and subscribing and following. And please do share this content to get your people get your friends who like the news to join and let them know about this show if you like it and want to. I appreciate it. Oh, my chat's working. Okay, cool. So this is cool. This is from YouTube. So my YouTube chat comes over and it's a cool little feature. Hey, it's Roxy. See? Roxy. Hey there, Vincey boy. Hey, Roxy. Thank you so much, YouTube. Sorry, I wasn't monitoring my comments. Thank you, G. Happy New Year, VT 2024 for the score. Thank you so much, everybody, for commenting. 1-1. Good morning, Vince. Much love. Thank you, 1-1. Thank you, everybody else who tuned in. Please share. That will help me tremendously in sharing all this content, keeping us all in the loop on what's going on. And this was the first episode of Rise and Grind with Vince. I'll be live every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, and I'll be working on getting more things in the works. If you guys like my art or like art in general, not my art per se, I'm going to start getting back into it. I haven't painted in a long time, but it's something that I really enjoy doing. I'll either post art videos here under a different title, or I'll make a new art channel. I'm going to start doing art online, and I'm not like some crazy great artist or anything, but it's just something I like to do. And I think I have my Instagram is the place you could find that, and that is linked up to my website, which you could find here if you click here or if you scan this code. It is riseandshinewvince.com. I know it's a terrible name, but that's what I got. It's in the comments down below as well. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and stay in touch. Check out the website for everything, including my blog. I've got a new blog post there, and I'll be expanding and doing more things and more content. It'll be a great time, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Plum. Better late than never. Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. And thank you, FBI Mom, for the very generous donations. Another diamond. Love the new show. Thank you so much. And thank you, Forrest Friend, as well, for the ice cream. If you guys go to my website, you could contact me, and you could do that also on Twitter and Instagram, I think, if I follow you back. But just be like, Vince, follow me back. I'll follow you back if I'm not following you. And you can also email me from my website as well. Just go to the contact page and get that email. And if you want to contact me, it could be for various reasons. Feedback. Vince, you could do better here. You could do better there. I appreciate that stuff, and I'll take it into consideration. You could also make suggestions for content, or, just let me know what's going on. I appreciate that. So you can do that at my website. Anyway, everybody, I got to go hang drywall for a few hours here, and then I'll get back to other things. But until tomorrow morning, take care, God bless, and Godspeed. Have a good one.